Shalom, everyone. Today we're going to be discussing Jeremiah chapter 31 and the claim that Jeremiah chapter 31, without a shadow of a doubt, proves that God would give a New Testament. That is the claim by Christian missionaries all across the world, that the new covenant spoken in Jeremiah chapter 31 is in fact, point blank, bottom line, the New Testament, the Greek scriptures. Is this the case? Is this true or not? We have to find out the truth. And by studying, like I say in every video, you must study every day in context. If you don't, you're going to get in a lot of trouble and you might as well just go home. So we have to know, we want to know the truth. Is Jeremiah 31 speaking about a new covenant or not? Or something that will happen in the future that has not yet occurred? Let's begin with verse 31. See, the time is coming, declares Yehovah, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their forefathers. Now we have to identify who this is speaking about. This is the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Now the house of Israel is the lost tribes. The house of Judah are the Jewish people. He's going to put them all together and reclaim them once again and have a new covenant with them. It does not mean a New Testament. Now let's keep going though. We'll get to this in a moment. It will not be like the covenant that I made with their fathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant which they broke, although I was a husband to them, declares Yehovah. But such is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel. In those days, declares Yehovah, I will put my Torah in their inmost parts, and I will inscribe it upon their hearts. Then I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will they need to teach one another and say to one another, Know Yehovah, for they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them, declares Yehovah. For I will forgive their iniquities and remember their sins no more. For thus says Yehovah, who established the sun for light by day, the laws of moon and the stars for light by night, who stirs up the sea into roaring waves, whose name is Yehovah of hosts. If these laws should ever be annulled for me, the laws of the sun, the moon, and the stars, in which they rotate around a still earth, declares Yehovah, only then would the offspring of Israel cease to be a nation from before me. Now, I read the entire chapter in context. What it says there is that the Israelites broke the covenant as a whole. Not all of them, but as a whole nation, they have broken the covenant, although he was a husband to them. He's saying in those days, he will renew it, and the Torah will be upon their hearts and all their being, so that they will do the Torah. They will come back to the true Torah of Yehovah. Not only this, but in this chapter, as I read to you, and you could read for yourself, it says in those days, meaning the time when this must occur, no man will have to teach his brethren to know Yehovah, Elohim, to teach them to know him, for they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest of them. Now, did this happen 2,000 years ago, that nobody had to teach anyone about Elohim? I'm not talking about the J-Man, Jesus. I'm talking about the God of Israel, the God of all creation, of all peoples, Yehovah. Did this happen 2,000 years ago? Did nobody have to teach anyone to know Yehovah, for they all will know me? The answer is, of course not. And it still hasn't happened 2,000 years later. None of this has occurred.